Good morning, welcome to Morning Matters today, and it's another fine day in the Belize City. I'm sitting with my co-host Rhonda Crichton at this is Lindbergh Park.
This is B.T.L Park now, but this is Lindbergh's Landing, where
Lindbergh Landing.
had landed many years ago. I don't remember the date, but I'm sure that during the course of the morning you will go and take a picture
Maybe
of the
we
sign.
could get our runner to go over there and give us a brief history of the sign and have him come back and report.
You never know. Very well, you never know. So how are you there?
I'm doing well. How are you, Rhonda?
I'm just peachy.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed. My performance last night.
You know, if I was supposed to just answer that, that might not be good for TV.
One moment here. There. People want to see your eyes, Rhonda.
Jeez, I'd like to be. The glare is, habit is a hell of a thing. What you train yourself for is really important.
You know what? That's the difference between a professional and an amateur.
Okay, professional man.
Anyway,
Who complained? Was it her that complained?
No, I was talking about my performance. It wasn't anywhere but the poker room. And no, it's not that poker. At the poker tournament that we had been talking about the last show. So let me tell you about my poker experience last night.
If you must.
We had, there's probably 50 players, I suppose, and being the returning champion, I didn't perform quite as well as I had hoped. But it was a good time. It's a great crowd.
I'm beginning to think
I got another chance tonight to redeem
I'm beginning
myself.
to think that the only reason you got in was by fluke, because this is by fluke. You know the meaning of fluke?
Fluke? She says fluke. You question my poker ability?
No, the other 50 people last night did.
I know, but I beat more than half of them.
Mm-hmm. You ever go to a horse race? They have 10 horse running. Which horse do you remember? The other 9?
The one that got beaten.
Anyway, this is Morning Matters. The number on the screen is the number that you can send your text into. We will pray that Drew I'm not sure why you want to win again, because just for your ego, or so you can sell it?
Let me ask you something. What have you been doing?
Working.
You're always talking about me.
No, you're always talking about you. I just entertain you.
Ask.
Because I care.
And I'm asking about you.
What's
going on with you?
I've been working a lot. I have been preparing for that big day in my life. One of those many big days, but this is going to be a big day. I've been working towards that. I know you don't want to talk about that, but you asked, so here I am telling you.
All right, we have some matters coming up.
You kill me. You kill me every time you ask.
You got some matters.
And I start to tell you switch it.
Well, you told me how many texts are coming in. People need answers.
You act like if you don't care about what's happening with me, then don't ask me. You hear?
I just did it to be polite. You didn't have to answer.
Well, I hope that you're there to share in it, because I would need a little sarcasm on that day, And who better than you? So, any matters?
No.
How the girls treating you?
They've been few and far between.
How come?
I probably spend too much time in the poker room.
Anyway.
Maybe I should stay at the bars. I saw a bunch of them at the club, waiting to get in the club last night.
If they're waiting to get in the club, then probably they're not in your age range.
18 to 27.
You know what? I will pray for you so hard. A lot of people's prayer out there will not be answered, because mine will be taking priority. All right. Well, ready for a matter?
Let's do it.
Good morning, Miss Rhonda. I am 20 years old. I'm a man. I treat her the best. I am a loyal person. Why can't I get back the same treatment that I treat her with? I deserve it. Am I wrong?
No, but you're with the wrong person. You're not wrong. You should expect to get some decent treatment in return.
Yeah.
But only you can change that.
We can't necessarily determine what somebody will give you or how they will treat you, but once they start issuing it, if you don't like it, don't accept it. When you start accepting it, then you have the problem. Because I can't determine,
Right.
I might be hopeful that you are going to be kind to me because I am kind to you. But when you start being unkind to me, it is my duty to reserve my kindness for somebody that is worthy of it.
Well, at least make them aware that you don't like the way you're being treated, and it needs to change.
That's right.
Some people will change and some won't. If they don't, you move on.
You know, change is, I think we are who we are to a great degree. You know, we try sometimes we're a little bit more, sometimes we're a little bit less, but we're essentially who we are. I mean, unless we work on it for many, many years, it's not an overnight thing, but generally we are the way we are. So if you find someone and you're 20 and she's 20 or maybe 18 or 22, I mean, at this stage in your life, you're supposed to be not trying to change anybody, but you're supposed to be your freest, truest self so you can
Well,
develop your best self.
Well, I was going to say, at 20 years old, you're still discovering
Yeah.
yourself, and
Relax
you
yourself.
need to talk about how you're being treated and help the other person grow as well. If nothing else, it'll help them in their next relationship.
Sure, good Samaritan. I am with a
That's
guy
what
for
I try
5.
to do is
How's that working for you?
bless everybody and make their next relationship better.
So you don't care
How's that
about,
working for you?
what are you talking about? What? I'm not sure what you're talking about here. You have succeeded in losing me in more ways than one.
But you're better off for your next relationship.
I am with a guy for 5 years. He has 4 children. I have one for him. He sometimes sneak around with his ex. Every time he speaks to me, he gives me attitude. But I love him. What am I to do?
I don't understand. How can you love somebody that gives you attitude all the time?
You need to start loving you. You know what's happening here? You are loving him. He's loving him. The
And
neighbors are loving him.
Everybody love him.
And nobody love
love
you. You need to love you. You know, last night I was talking to a girl and she was saying to me, you know, I was with a guy for 5 years, and when we broke up, I felt like my whole life had fallen apart, and you know, I couldn't put up with his cheating anymore, and then he left me, but I still love him. And I say, you know, in all that 5, she says, oh, I feel like I had such a loss, like I just want him back. I'm like, what
Did you counsel her back to health?
Well, I don't know. I mean, she was under, you know,
His spell. It's obia.
we'll talk about that another time. But what I'm saying is that I believe that when people find themselves in a place like this, is because they're paying attention to the wrong thing. They're paying attention to the little good that is in him. They're not paying attention to themselves and all the pain and the disgust that's going on with them.
She was addicted to that disgust and
Right? And if
anxiety.
if she was to pay, and I tell her, pay a little more attention to yourself, take better care of yourself. If you, and I have to say, the shoe that you're wearing, if somebody come and poke a hole in it, would you be happy? This guy has poked many holes in you, and you still entertain him. The question is
But he
why?
shines it up every week.
In a matter, he's destroying it. But it's not that he's destroying it, it's that you are allowing him. The question you need to ask yourself is why. It's not that he's such a bad guy. He's just not a good guy for you. And you need to be
It's your cousin.
Yes. You need to be guarding yourself well enough to recognize that he's not good for you and let him go. Because maybe you are good for him, but he's not good for you.
True. That's obvious.
Right? So let him go. Don't blame him. Just do something for yourself. Hello. Okay, this one is from Karaku, and they're speaking in a language that I can't understand.
What do they speak in Karaku?
Maybe French, I am not sure, but it's definitely not English. Because I have a difficult time reading it, and it's not like the other
Maybe
islands.
we'll try to figure that out during break.
So, I like a 59-year-old man, and I am 31, but he lives in the States. He tells me that to get my visa, and he's going to take me out with him. Should I pursue this thought?
I think regardless of whether he's going to bring you to the States or not, get your visa. You never know when an opportunity might arise itself that you can just get up and go. You don't have to say, oh, I have to wait 3-4 months to get my visa and then I can go. Go get it anyway. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for him. Have that little asset in your pocket. Tell him to send the money for it, though.
Why? I believe that we must sustain ourselves.
True.
We must not, I mean, unless we must, but we generally must not strive to be dependent.
But
If you ask for something, it must be because that is your only option.
I would think, well,
It's
I don't
not his
know.
duty to give you the money.
But I mean, it's a tough country sometimes, and people don't make a lot of money, and to go spend, what's it cost to get a visa?
Maybe $300, $280, yeah.
Belize, that's
Yeah.
a lot of money. Plus, you got to go to Belmopan.
So why should he take the risk? Because he's the one that wants the visa?
he wants her to come up?
She needs it more. See, when we do these things, we're not doing these. You're not doing it for the man, you know.
Oh, I agree.
You're doing it for
I
yourself. You are
agree.
investing in
But-
yourself.
But for herself, she'd rather put that money elsewhere.
If you get sick today, and this is what I have to say, everybody needs to know that they should have their passports ready. There's people like as old as me that never had a passport. You need your passport, especially when you live in a third world country. Because if you get sick and you have to be flown out, you know it's going to be one delay to get it.
But you can't go anyway unless you got a visa.
Yes, but you can't get a visa without a passport.
Right.
So let's get
right.
yourself in order.
There's no point in getting a passport unless you're going to get the visa too.
No. You need a passport because you don't have to go to the States.
Well, I guess you can go to England, can't you?
You can go to England, you can go to Cuba, you can go to many other places without a visa.
Okay.
Your visa is only for America.
Oh, we're pretty tight with who we allow in.
You understand? If Trump gets in, nobody will get in. But to get back to you, I'll say go and get your visa for yourself. If you want to go visit the man, fine, fair enough. Don't get your hopes up too high. You don't know where and how he lives. You know, a lot of people think that the streets in America are paved with gold. They are not.
I'm here to tell you they're not.
All right? So now a lot of time you live better at home than you live anywhere else. So while it might be nice to go and see, don't get yourself all wound up too early. Good morning. I lived with this guy for 5 years. Now, but my man ex-girlfriend still calls and texts him. That really bothers me a lot. What am I to do?
Well, once again, you can't control what she does.
It's a he. Well,
What the ex-girlfriend does. She can't control what the ex-girlfriend does.
no.
But on average, and the common person, if they're exes and they're not in a relationship anymore, you would think they wouldn't be contacting them, unless there's some reciprocity there. So I would investigate and ask some questions of what's encouraging this girl to keep in contact with you.
His response.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get to the response.
No. I'm saying he has to respond or else she would not be considering it.
Not necessarily. Sometimes women are just crazy.
Sometimes people are just crazy. But what I will tell you is, I agree with Drew to some degree. You should sit down with this woman, with your man, and explain to him the things you don't like. It's been 5 years. You have also allowed this tree to grow. First, it started out as a seed, and now it's a plant, because in 5 years you have allowed this to continue. So you entered this into your life. You have to sit down with him now and says, look, why is this happening, and is it necessary, and will it stop? And if you can't live with what the facts are, then you have to go and create your own truth.
Right. Ask some questions, and then whatever the answer is, then you can make your decision based on that.
This one says, I have been having issues with my baby's mother. We got together for 5 years, never seemed to agree with each other, never asked to have sex. I am the one who has to ask. She always on the phone, and when I ask about it, she says, it's her family. I am feeling very unhappy and don't want to leave my child fatherless. What am I to do?
So basically there's a breakdown in the relationship. They just aren't getting along.
There's nothing wrong with a little counseling. First, let me tell you something. Once you're alive, your child will not be fatherless, because you will always be the father. So let's get that out of the way. Your child will not be fatherless. You may not live under the same roof, but your child is not fatherless. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you want to work on this relationship, and both of you want to work on this relationship, then go look for a counselor. From what you're telling me, it's not anything that you can't repair. It's in the beginning stage. It's taking its toll. You can fix it if both of you want.
I think so.
But both of you have to want. You can't make her want, and you alone can't want.
I think you got to set her down and say, this relationship isn't working for me. We need to fix it.
But
And
you
see if that's what she wants or if she thinks everything's hunky-dory.
But you know what? Sometimes when you sit down and sometimes when, especially if it's a young couple, and both of you might not even be sure of what you want because you are not developed enough to think you need help. You need somebody to intervene to show you the light, for lack of a better term. And you might, obviously you can't communicate well, or else you will not be having these issues. So yes, I would talk to her, but I would imagine that you've spoken to her many times. So what I would, the next conversation I would have with her is, and I wouldn't tell her, but I would ask her. I would ask her if she wants to fix the relationship, because I'm sure she realizes it's not good. And I would ask her if she would mind going to a counselor. And then when you get in front of the counselor, then the real communication starts. Because between now and then, if you and I have animosity and we have stress, we won't get anywhere. I'm not open enough to receive you.
Right. Now, I mean, that stress inside the relationship affects everything outside the relationship too. And it affects the children.
My girl cheated and lied with a straight, calm face. I love her very much and I want to be with her, but I can't stop thinking about it, and it makes me mad, and it's hard to trust her. I told her about it already. What can I do?
When you told her about it, what did she say?
Sorry.
Sorry?
Sorry. Dismissive sorry. If you don't like it, lump it. I don't know what you say. And don't do it again.
It depends what the lie was over.
What? You qualify the lie now?
It was because she was planning a birthday party for him, and she said she was getting groceries when she was at the party planner place.
Most people can get over that. I would imagine it's something major.
Well,
He says lie and
some
cheated.
people cry over spilled milk.
Lie and cheated? He said lie and cheated. With a straight face.
Well, cheated. Well, and again, I don't know if she never admitted to either one of it. How do you know that happened? And if she did cheat, then push her along anyway. That
Mike,
must be
I have a
fan of
question
yours.
for you.
I don't think it's a fan of mine.
Yeah, you don't have much of that. I'm just joking. I have a question for you. Why do you want this woman? That would be my first. That is a question that you need to ask yourself. Why are you?
Because he loves her.
What do you love about her?
Her honesty.
She has
and
none
dedication.
of that. She has none of. You know, a lot of time we just get accustomed to saying that. I love him. I love her. We just say that because we've always said that. And it's somebody. And it seemed like the right thing to say. But when you sit down and you have to put pen to paper in most things. You get your paper and you take it old school. You sit in your room and you say, what is it? What do I? First, you have to define love. And once you have defined love, you see, what do I love about her? What do I not love about her? What can I live with? What can I not live with?
Yeah.
And then what about me?
Sometimes sitting down and making a list will bring some light to the matter.
Yes, so that is what I would do. I would say, center your soul, focus on yourself. What is it that you want for your future? Is this the kind of person you want in your future? Can both of you make a good future together? You have to think of all of those things when you are thinking about her life. It can't just be, oh, you know what, she weigh 110 pounds now and she really look nice.
That's all that some people want.
And then if that's all you want, I'll tell you one thing. One thing for sure. In the next 10 years, she will not weigh 110 pounds.
That's right.
All right?
Somebody smart.
Get somebody, and somebody that has...
Because they can always get a tummy tuck. They can get some Botox. They can lose weight. So my point on that is, Rhonda, marry a smart girl because you can't fix stupid. Stupid is forever. It's not a pill you can take.
But sometimes...
It's not a surgery you can do. There's not a book you can read.
Nope.
It's forever. With that in mind, Rhonda, we need to go to a break.
Seaboard Marine, a leader in ocean transportation, is now offering services to Belize. Offering the fastest and most reliable transit to Belize, Seaboard Marine is the #1 choice for shipping. We offer shipping of less than container loads, such as boxes, barrels, and chilled cargo, full, dry, and refrigerated containers, project cargo, heavy and special equipment, vehicles, and more. We have sailings from Canada, Houston, New Orleans, Miami, the Caribbean, Central and South America. Seaboard Marine offers the most competitive rates with a fast and dependable shipping schedule, excellent customer service, and a convenient location with plenty of parking. Visit our office, website, or call us for more information.
We've been working with Hummingbird for about 3.5 years, and since the beginning of the relationship, we've been very impressed with the quality of their work and their professionalism. They provide great service. They're very easy to work with, which is really nice. And if anything ever happens and the furniture needs to be repaired or fixed, they're great about sending service people out here. We've gotten great feedback from the buyers of our condos about the quality of the couches we use and the chairs we use, and I could highly recommend working with them in the future.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
With the high cost of fuel these days, every fill-up can be a curiously scary experience. Rising gas prices have transformed to the point where it feels like it can cost you the shirt off your back. That's why we created Lucas fuel-saving motor oils. Their special additives increase compression and minimize friction, improving fuel mileage. With Lucas, you'll keep from losing your shirt, or even worse.
Aeropost is now making shopping easier and much more convenient. You can now shop from the comfort of your own home and have your goods delivered to you with no additional cost in as little as 7 working days. No credit card? No problem. Come on down to our office at number 1 Mott Street in Belize City and we will assist you with your shopping. No order too small or large for us to ship. Be it cell phone, TV, jewelry, shoes or clothing, we have exactly what you're looking for. At Aeropost, your favorite shopping spot is only 1 click away. Aeropost, you shop, we ship, we deliver. Give us a call at 223-4349 or visit us at number 1 Mott Street in Belize City.
You're tuned into this morning show, and Rhonda's here to let you know it matters. Morning matters. You'll face the day with confidence. She'll never leave you in suspense. The answer's coming. Morning matters. Now come on, Rhonda, we're all tuned in to hear you reason with or questioning what's the matter. Morning matters.
Welcome back to Morning Matters. It's a beautiful morning out here, Mr. Drew. How you doing?
It is a beautiful morning.
I have an ask.
Beautiful day at the park.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
What do you think about marriage?
I tried it once. It's good for some people. It's not for everybody. But I think some people look at it as the ultimate goal in life.
So what do you think about it?
I don't. I try not to think about it.
Oh gosh.
What do you think about it?
I agree with you. I think it's a beautiful thing if you can find the right person. It's like any other partnership. You don't want to be married to a hug. You know, you don't want to be married for the wrong reason. You don't want to be married just to say you are married. But if you are so fortunate and blessed that you can find somebody that is blissful, that is like a true friend, then you would have lucked out.
Sure.
You know?
And I have no problem making a commitment to each other and all this and that, but I don't like the government's involvement in the whole process.
Sometimes you need the government because when things sweet, it's sweet, and when it's sour, you need a little hand.
That's just up to the two people to work out.
But sometimes they become unreasonable.
You gotta trust, but you also gotta protect yourself. And
You know, you've been
there's
scarred.
ways to do that.
Obviously,
and
you've been scarred.
the last thing I want is a third party making decisions for me.
Sometimes that third party is what will save you.
Sometimes that's what will destroy you.
You are a little hurt, aren't you?
Golly.
Jeez. Sorry I even mentioned the word. I will not say any more M words for the rest of the show. I'll try not to. My goodness. You heard that? My goodness.
All right, get on with the matters here.
You said an M word. I find a conversation on my man's laptop. He was texting and making plans to have, ooh, must have been your laptop. This boy is, I find a conversation on my man's laptop. He was making plans to have sex with a woman, and when I ask him about it, he says, it's just talk, but I don't believe him. What do you think?
I think you got to take him at his word. And in the meantime, stay out of his laptop.
You know, I'll tell you one thing, right? I'll probably tell you many things, but
Sometimes they just play,
play.
a little flirt.
Anything you want to,
Maybe
or
you're
you
not
feel.
giving him enough attention.
Oh gosh, he gone all in the wrong direction. I believe that the text that you saw on his laptop is exactly what he meant. A lot of time people, they fish with line, some of them fish with net, some of them fish with their hand, depending on how they're fishing. He is fishing, and the only reason he turned it into a joke is because he got caught
You know,
fishing.
though, it's not that every man out there doing that wants to go get with every
Why
girl.
would he write it?
Sometimes they just want to know they can.
If he knows he can because he has a wife and he can get it from her.
Well, that's a given.
That's not a given.
He just wants this for the sport of it. It's like a catch and release thing.
No, I believe that whatever you saw is what it was intended for.
Of course you do. I wouldn't expect anything other than that from you.
Because that is the most logical thing to believe. But I would ask yourself, what do you intend to do with this information? It's good information, but what do you intend to do with it? From the mere fact you had to go and look on his laptop, or I don't believe that you happened into it. I believe you were looking for something and you found something. I believe that there are lots of other issues in your relationship that needs attention. So you need to sit down with yourself and figure out if this relationship is a good relationship. If it is, then so be it. If it isn't, then do something to fix it. Because from the sound of this, it's going to go downhill. You don't believe him. You don't trust him. If you trusted him,
Yep, that's
you
why I
wouldn't be
say, I
snooping.
mean, you can take him at his word, you can think he's lying, but you got to figure out which side of that. If you're not going to believe him, then you got to have some actions behind it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it'll keep happening.
I wouldn't believe him, but I would, like Drew says, find some ways to work on it.
But I would go along with the fact that obviously you were snooping in his laptop,
Yes.
and I don't know whether you're just a hypochondriac or have a phobia about this sort of thing, but I would guess that you had some reasons to doubt the relationship or his commitment, and that's why you went in. And that's what I think you have to focus on more so than the message in the note.
I agree with you.
You need to focus on
The message in the note-
what created you to go snooping through his laptop.
The message in the note is
That's the real problem.
Yes, the message in the note is confirmation that something is wrong.
There's trouble in the relationship, and that's what needs to be looked at more so than what's in the messages.
My husband works every day. He maintains the house, and if I need anything, all I have to do is ask. What to
Sounds
do?
like how your life used to be.
What do you call that? Sorry, my life?
Say that again?
My husband works every day and he maintains the house. If I
Perfect.
need something, all I have to do is ask. What do you call that?
I call it a pretty good relationship. I hope you reciprocate those efforts.
I think her issue is in asking, but he can't read your mind.
True.
Unless you're saying to
I-
me that,
You think that's her real issue? It's because she has to ask?
yes, but unless what she really wants to say to me is that she has to ask him for everything. Like she has to say, well, I need $20 for the grocery, and I need $30 for the light, and unless
He
that is
is-
what she's really
He
saying
is
to
the
me.
dictator.
If
Well,
that is,
here's what you do. And I don't know, maybe you're right, maybe she just wanted to say how great a husband she has. But
No.
assuming you're right, if it's money or something like that, put together a household budget and say, I need $500 a week, $300 a week, and say, can you just give me this every week, and then I don't have to come to you and ask for all this stuff.
Well, you know, in every story there's two sides. She might be a woman, and I'm not, but this is a possibility. She might not be good with money. Maybe her history is bad in managing.
I know somebody like that.
You understand? Maybe her history is bad in managing herself, the home, and the money. So maybe this is where that has gotten her and the home. Because generally, if you're telling me all you have to do is ask and you will get it, it's not that he's refusing to give it to you, but there needs to be accountability. And maybe there is poor accountability in the past. So you have to check yourself. When you find yourself in a pickle, you first have to examine you. What have I done to get us here?
True.
You know, what am I contributing to this?
Right, what have I contributed?
Right, so if that is not the case and he is just controlling, then you have to do what Drew says. If you have had bad history, you need to ask him for the opportunity to create new history and better history. And the only way for you to do that is with time. So you have to lop your tail, take your time, and one day at a time.
Right.
You know? Okay, good morning. Who lose in our love triangle? One woman to play with two men. The woman say, he not really into the long time man, where he there with for some years, but she love the new guy, where he just meet. I have one question for you.
So this isn't even one of the triangle. This is an outside party asking the question.
Apparently.
I have this friend.
Yeah, because some people text in their text like that. But
So which of the party do you think it is? The girl?
I think it might be the girl texting.
Okay.
Because she has two men.
So we should answer this as
If she's the girl
as
that
if
texted.
the girl, from the girl's standpoint.
Yes, and she wants to know who loses in a love
I think
triangle.
all three will lose unless all three are aware of what's going on and are okay with it.
I think primarily you lose. Because you do the most work. You put in the most
You
time.
gotta hide
You get the
and-
most use. It is like running yourself like a taxi. The man that pay you $5 to drive your taxi, he not losing. He probably could have done better by getting the bus, but he decided knowingly to invest in this taxi. Right? So he taking a taxi ride today. He taking $5 out of his pocket, he paying for the ride. The taxi is the one taking the work. He taking all the beating, all the pothole, all the stress, everything, all the wear and tear is on the taxi. You are the taxi. So that will decide who lose, you. You have to do all the maintaining of you.
I look at more, rather than a taxi, it's more like an amusement park.
Well, you could call it what you want. But at the end of the day, you are the one providing the service and you are the one with the most responsibility.
You don't know that. They may be whining and dining her all over the place.
You know, she still needs time.
That's why I say the amusement park.
I think she might think that she's enjoying it now, but see, far too often people waste their youth, and when they become 50 and 60, they say, "Oh my gosh, what happened?"
I think it's difficult to get the true intimacy of a relationship when you're jumping back and forth like that.
Of course. So, to answer your question in the short term, you, the woman that is involved in the two man and the woman, is the one losing the most. The husband might not even know his wife is cheating, so he's losing nothing, because what you don't know very seldom can affect you emotionally. It will affect him maybe physically if you bring a disease home, but emotionally and mentally, he's none the wiser. He's happy. He has a wife that comes home at 5 o'clock in the evening that he thinks love her. He living good. He not losing nothing. The man on the side, he has willfully chosen that. He not losing nothing. That is his choice. That's how he wants to live. You that's juggling between lying to your husband, sleeping with this man sometime, all of that, you're the one losing. Stop it. Stop treat yourself like floor cloth.
Like what?
Floor cloth.
Floor cloth.
Floor cloth. Morning. I am with my husband for 39 years. All our years he cheated on me. I asked myself, why did I tolerate him? Apart from him having those behavior, he's responsible. But the worst of all we went through is that he had a child outside the relationship. This woman now thinks that she owns him, and he allows her by going to his work, and they text each other all the time. What am I to do?
This is something you've tolerated for years. Why stop now? You've been a part of the contribution to this result, as far as I'm concerned.
You know,
You knew he was doing this, and you knew this could happen. And you just kept tolerating, and now it's might be intolerable now, but
39
you got to
years?
look at yourself. He's been doing it for 39 years.
no, I agree with you, but ladies,
So why is this such a big deal?
you know,
So he's going and doing all this. It doesn't involve you. Ignore it.
you say the worst is that he had the child. That's not the worst. You have been an active part of this. You have tolerated it. You have, for whatever reason, and you have almost encouraged it. Because if you know this for 39 years, then you can't blame him. You have to take responsibility for the life that you have chosen. You can't tell me that this man is responsible when he is acting irresponsibly. You can't, you understand? How you want to tell me that besides his cheating ways, he's responsible? From the mere fact that he cheats, he's not responsible. From the mere fact that he has unprotected sex or sex with another woman, he's not responsible. He has broken your contract. You understand me? You have to sit down with yourself.
But he's been doing this for years.
I agree with you. I am not even blaming him. I am challenging her to take responsibility for the...
It's like the traffic cop out here standing, watching this guy run the stop sign,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden
One day
he runs it and hits somebody. Whose fault is it?
You know, it's
Maybe
a
if the cop
combination.
would have given him a ticket after that first one, he wouldn't have run the stop sign anymore.
At least he wouldn't have run it in front of him. You understand? So you have to sit down now and ask yourself, the monster that I have created, can I fix it? If you can't fix it, then you have to either live with it or forget it. Those are your three options. If it can't be fixed, can you tolerate it? If you can't tolerate it, then you have to leave it.
All right.
But those
I
are
mean,
your
so
options.
far I don't see that there's that much difference. So what? He's apparently always had somebody texting him. He's always been cheating, and he's always had somebody texting him. And now maybe there's somebody coming to the workplace, which if you don't work with him, so what?
If it never bothered
you don't
then,
have to deal with it.
when your husband is out there having unprotected or sex with anybody else, the chances are they can bring children into this world. That is why when you find out your spouse is cheating, you have to deal with it immediately. Immediately. It is too dangerous. That business is so risky that you don't want to take the chance.
True that.
When you say the child is the biggest thing, he could have brought some sickness home. He still can bring some sickness home. You have lots of other things to worry about. My question to you is, have you lived? And if you have not lived, you need to start living.
Exactly.
That's it.
It's time for another break, Rhonda.
Is it?
Hold that thought.
We're going to take a break and be back.
Seaboard Marine, a leader in ocean transportation, is now offering services to Belize. Offering the fastest and most reliable transit to Belize, Seaboard Marine is the #1 choice for shipping. We offer shipping of less than container loads, such as boxes, barrels, and chilled cargo, full, dry, and refrigerated containers, project cargo, heavy and special equipment, vehicles, and more. We have sailings from Canada, Houston, New Orleans, Miami, the Caribbean, Central and South America. Seaboard Marine offers the most competitive rates with a fast and dependable shipping schedule, excellent customer service, and a convenient location with plenty of parking. Visit our office, website, or call us for more information.
We've been working with Hummingbird for about 3.5 years, and since the beginning of the relationship, we've been very impressed with the quality of their work and their professionalism. They provide great service. They're very easy to work with, which is really nice. And if anything ever happens and the furniture needs to be repaired or fixed, they're great about sending service people out here. We've gotten great feedback from the buyers of our condos about the quality of the couches we use and the chairs we use, and I could highly recommend working with them in the future.
After you pick the place, pick up a great deal at Alamo on all kinds of vehicles for every vacation, because everyone loves a little getaway and big savings. Alamo.
With the high cost of fuel these days, every fill-up can be a curiously scary experience. Rising gas prices have transformed to the point where it feels like it can cost you the shirt off your back. That's why we created Lucas fuel-saving motor oils. Their special additives increase compression and minimize friction, improving fuel mileage. With Lucas, you'll keep from losing your shirt, or even worse.
You're tuned into this morning show, and Rhonda's here to let you know it matters. Morning matters. You'll face the day with confidence. She'll never leave you in suspense. The answer's coming. Morning matters. Now come on, Rhonda, we're all tuned in to hear you reason with or questioning what's the matter. Morning matters.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of Morning Matters. It's a beautiful day here in Belize City today.
It's fantastic. I mean, this is just the perfect weather this time of year. I love this time of year.
Yes.
It's like 80 during the day, low 70s at night. It's cool.
The other night it was 55,
love
okay?
It did.
It was 55.
I heard
It was
that.
freezing. I was like,
I heard that. We went night fishing out off of San Pedro the other
Yeah.
day. Oh, I didn't tell you about that. Yeah, we had a good time. We went night fishing in San Pedro. I wish we could have got video, but it'd just be pretty dark. So I don't think we didn't have the lights. But it was really cold out there on the water. And then the next day we went lobster diving. We got some nice lobster. Maybe I'll try to get some footage of that and show them. Got some lobster, got a lot of conch.
are you going to make conch fritters?
I never made conch fritters.
What are you going to make with this conch that you've gotten?
I'll think of something.
Okay. I can't wait to taste
Maybe
it.
I'll just throw a little salt and pepper on it and eat it.
Who knows? Good morning. I'm in a relationship with my husband for 7 years, and his baby mother is always starting problems. What am I to do? If she start the problem and you don't finish it, then it's not a problem. She could cry cooking oil. If you don't answer her, she'll go away.
Well, it depends what kind of problems you're talking about.
Yeah.
She come busting on your door every night, wanting things. Sometimes you gotta, put your foot down hard in the beginning and then lighten. It's easier to put your foot down hard in the beginning and then lighten up than it is to be overly generous and open to things and tolerate a lot and then try to close that door afterwards.
Okay, the horse already out the stable.
Horse already gone.
The horse already gone. Good morning. I'm in a relationship and my baby mother still wants to sleep with me. But I can't see my daughter because if I don't sleep with her,
Oh, come on.
what
Really?
am I to do?
Really? You're prostituting yourself to see your daughter? Come on. Put your foot down and say, I'm going to take my daughter to lunch, and you're not going to do anything about it.
That is why we have family court, right? You see, I believe
Nobody wants to go to court.
nobody wants to go to court, but I'll tell you one thing.
But I'm thinking she knows she can get away with it. That's why she holds that over his head. If you put your foot down and say, no, I am taking my daughter, and you're not going to hold this over my head. You're ugly. I don't want to have sex with you. I'm going to go with my daughter, and that's that. Put her in her place.
Why do you have to say something so silly as you are ugly? She's not ugly. They made a child together. They've slept together. She and her ugly self.
So he made one mistake.
No. What is wrong with you? Look. Let's listen. Let's reason out right
Just
here.
like I told you, it's a lot of women think because I had your baby, I own you. Put your foot down and let her know she doesn't own you.
No, you have to do that. But I'll tell you what would be a more civilized thing to do. Don't tell her she's ugly because you know, Lord, no, you're not seeing the child dead. Then she go.
She can't control that.
She has possession. You want possession.
It's not an item, it's a child.
Yes, and you could
that
say what
needs her
you want.
father.
I agree with you. But if the person that has possession is not reasonable, then we need to force their hand. And we can't go there and fight them
I'm
for
guessing
the child.
he's a little wimpy guy and he caters to her and gives in because, oh, I want to see my daughter.
Drew.
Probably what it is, it's probably he has a girlfriend and he's having to explain why he's having sex with his ex.
You know what is true?
Well, I have to so I can see my daughter.
No.
So the ex-girlfriend is the one that sent this
gosh.
message in. See, I can embellish the story just like
how
you.
does he come up with these crazy things?
I can embellish it just like you.
Let me try and answer the question for the man that sent the question. What you do is you go over to Jane's house for the last time with this conversation. Jane, I am here because I want to reason with you. I believe in reasoning with your spouse. You make your requests known. I would like to see Sally once a week or whatever your request is. If she says yes, great. If she says no, you tell her what your next step will be so that she knows what her options are. Because you will see Sally, no matter if she is willing or if she's not willing. The next thing you need to do is you need to pay her for Sally through the bank or whatever the case is. Deposit that money so you can have proof. Because when a woman turns on you...
I never said any problem with the money.
I'll tell you, when people start to give you trouble, it is your responsibility to yourself to take the proper precaution. Everybody wants to play nice. But when somebody start playing mean with you, you have to do what is right. You know what is wrong with a lot of us in this society? A lot of the women out there, they hold the children as ransom. A lot of the men give up too easy. So the daughter and the son,
what I'm saying.
The daughters and the son grow up and thinking, oh, my father don't care. But the father just don't want the stress. So he just go away. He go away quietly because he don't want the stress. You want the stress.
And if the woman made it easy, he could just show up, take the child, go have fun, bring her back, no drama, no...
But men,
there would be a lot less fatherless children, I believe.
All these children have fathers. There would be a lot less delinquent fathers. The father's not dead. They're acting dead. It is your duty, men, to challenge these women in court if you must. We need to change the system. We need to make the system user-friendly. Because right now we have the court system with all the women in the cradle up that the man did not pay. If you don't are a responsible father, do what is right for your child. It might seem like a lot of stress. It's going to take a few months out of your life, but it will make you and your child happier in the future.
Yes. Ignore the noise of the baby's mama
and keep your
think of what's best for that child.
Because next thing you know, she turned out pregnant and you have another child with this crazy woman.
You
don't want that.
You know.
What?
I just wonder how that conversation goes.
What?
Mary Jane, I'm here to see my daughter. Well, you have to take me in the bedroom first. How does that conversation go?
I don't think that's how it goes, Drew.
How does it go?
In my opinion, it would be once they're nice, once the relationship is sweet. So he's constantly courting her. He's constantly being nice to her because he's afraid that if he's not nice to her, he won't see the child.
That's his problem.
I say that's his problem. He needs to fix it. Get yourself to court on Monday. Good morning. How do I fix this? I have my baby mother and I am not with her. I've moved on and I have my family. I pay maintenance and I still can't see my child. I try to talk to her, but she curses me out and she causes too much problems. What am I supposed to do? Take her to family court.
That's just what we talked about.
Right to family court.
And women, and I mean, I say women because they generally are the ones that have custody or are taking care of the child, possession anyway. But don't make it as easy as possible for the men, the fathers, to have some visitation.
I agree.
They need that balance, and whether it's the father giving the child to the mother or the mother giving the child to the father, make it as easy and undrama-filled as you can.
Because at the end of the day, you have one common goal, to see the best for your children.
Right, and when the child's sitting there watching you two fight over him, that's going to have a really bad impact on the child. They're going to feel like they're the ones to blame for their parents breaking up or their parents' unhappiness, and it'll have long-term effects. I'm no Dr. Phil, but my buddy Dale watches Dr. Phil every day, as does my mother. But maybe we'll get Dale on here.
Maybe we'll get him on tomorrow
The next
because
show.
he's visiting, so we might just look up and see if we can find him. Grab him away from a little fishing.
He can give us
This
some words of
one's-
wisdom from Dr. Phil.
I hope so. This
You need to
one's-
man up.
This one says, I love your show. I would like to meet your co-host. Is he married? I would imagine they're speaking about you, my dear co-host. Oh, you married?
Wow. 649, no. Well, thank you. I'm sure I'd like you too. Is that from Belize?
Yep. That means you're in just a phone call away.
You know, it's a small country. I'm sure
Yep.
we'll run into each other sometime.
Wouldn't that be fun? No, I hope I have the camera on. Oh, gosh. How if a girl love you and you do not feel the same way for her? How do you handle that?
Then you say, thank you, I'm flattered, and I can't reciprocate, so don't waste your time.
That's right. Thank you, but no thank you. Not because
You don't have to say yes.
Not because somebody say they love you mean that you have to love them back. My
That'll
fiance,
just really get you in trouble
yeah, that's a waste of your time. You're
if you
going to be
don't really
unhappy.
feel that way.
My fiance wants to send me back to school full time, but I love working and making my own money. How do I tell this to him?
Wonder how old she is, or he.
It's a she, because he says he wants to send me back to school.
Okay. I think if you have the opportunity to go to school and further your education, I think you should grab onto it and do it. I think he probably wants what's best for you, and he doesn't, as comfortable as you may be in your work, he's probably looking down the road in your future and would like to see you being better able to take care of yourself.
And I think I would go to school if I were you, especially if there's something that you want to pursue. A career that you
Well,
want to
apparently
pursue.
she doesn't, but she likes her job now. But
She-
I would keep your mind open to it. Maybe instead of going full-time, you go part-time. You work and go to school part-time.
Yeah.
Until you find something that, hey, I really want to pursue this, and you quit your job and go full-time. And
Anybody that can go to school, I would say go to school. Because that is an
would.
investment in yourself, and he's willing to put that investment in you. Take it.
and that's not one that's going to rot away
Yeah.
or get stolen. It'll
have it
always
forever.
be there.
I have been living with this girl for 15 years. We have 3 children, and she's constantly telling me to leave her alone. She never stays home. What am I to do?
Say that again.
I lost it, but she's been living with this. They've been living together for 15 years. They have 3 children.
And he says to leave him alone?
She is always saying, go about your business, leave me alone, and she's always out. What is she supposed to do? What is he supposed to do, sorry?
Well, if that's not the kind of life and relationship you want, move
I have
on.
a question for him. Maybe this woman does not feel that you're taking her serious. She obviously hasn't taken herself serious in 15 years. She has not taken herself serious in 15 years. If she had taken herself serious in 15 years, she would not be in this situation. Most women want to be married, right? She's there for 15 years, he's not proposed, he's not buttering. So maybe she's telling her these things, and I know people do crazy things, with the hope that she might be attention seeking, if you know what I mean. She's seeking attention, she's seeking that final
From
commitment.
outside the relationship?
No, from him, but she goes about it the wrong. Yes, she goes about it
She
the
wants
wrong
to
way.
be begged?
She doesn't want to be begged. She wants to hear it. So she's putting herself in the position where she thinks that she can hear it. Like, I'll give you an example.
I think that's a far stretch, Rhonda.
I don't think so, Drew. Are you a woman? Okay, good. So you probably don't know how they think, right?
I've never been able to, it's full.
Okay, go ahead.
I've never been able to figure that out.
And that's okay. But I'll tell you, People react to things differently. Most women that stay in relationship for a long time, it's because they're hopeful. I hope my husband will change. I hope this will happen. Maybe he'll ask me to marry him next year. Maybe if I have another baby, he'll ask me to marry him. All of these things are things that women do when they're hopeful. Men are constant. They find this girl this way. They want to keep her this way. They're happy.
We're not trying to change anybody.
No, they don't want to disrupt what they have found. So every time she, does something more to get him to commit, he's like, what is she doing?
That's weird.
Yeah, that is crazy. So
Girl acting crazy now.
So when she says go about your business, it's because she's feeling 15 years has passed, he's not bought a ring, he's not trying to get married to me, he's not doing anything to bring us closer together. Maybe she doesn't have the strength to leave you. So she wants you to leave him and you to leave her. So you have to figure out
possibly
why the things are happening in your life. Sit down with your wife or with the woman that you have. It could be that she doesn't feel any togetherness. She's just there. She wants something more from you. Ask her what she wants. When she tells you, if you can give it to her, give it to her. If you can't give it to her, then you have to make other adjustments. Morning Matters is winding down, Mr. Drew.
All right. You put in a good day's work today.
I always put in a good day's work.
That's why when we're not doing a show and you say you've been working, I wonder what kind of work that is.
You see those commercials on Morning Matters?
I mean the ones that somebody else puts together?
You think somebody called and asked me to put them on? I had to go look for them.
I'm sure the phone is ringing off the hook.
Sometimes it does.
By the way, if you are interested in advertising, we are throughout the Caribbean and 6 cities in the United States. We're always looking for sponsors.
That's right, and I have to remind you that the wine bar in San Ignacio is open.
Oh yes.
There's a beautiful wine bar there. It's at the same.
It is a pretty neat spot.
It's the same place as Racina's Imports. So you can check them out in San Ignacio. They will be having their Valentine's special. We'll be telling you a little bit more about that as the days go by. But when you are in San Ignacio and you are looking for wine, it has to be the wine bar.
There you go.
All right.
And their Valentine's celebration will be on the 13th as opposed to the 14th.
That's right. So you have time to recuperate. I also have to remind you that when you're looking for hats, banners, t-shirts, flyers, whatever it is, creative marketing is your company of choice. On that note, we're going to say goodbye. Until next time, we encourage you to take care of yourselves and each other. This is Rhonda Crichton along with
Drew.
Saying goodbye.
Bye.
Gonna be my wife and I will